Hello, I'm Chris. I'm a KMP developer, experimenting with a new location for my microphone here. And oh yeah, tech sport's coming out on Tuesday for that bugger. Today. I'm gonna be reviewing who's in first in line to get smoked by the AI, and they have no clue. Here we go. Let's
AI is coming for
these nuts.
How about you take these? Welcome to my channel, which apparently became a trauma bonding group for software devs, and I'm
Well, I mean, there's a lot of drama.
proud of it. In this video, I will identify who's first in line to get rug pulled by AI, then why AI is the golden ticket for real software engineers, and lastly, my 2 cents on the current problem with AI. So let's start. Who's first in line for the smoke? A. Scrum Master. B. Software developers. C. Middle management. D. Product owners. I will start by dropping the nuclear bomb on this. AI will first get rid of middle management. This might sound as a hot take, but
yeah, so everyone's like complaining about is all these crazy things you have to do, Scrum Masters and burn down charts and all that stuff. That's all coming to an end. That was a zero interest rate environment where they had to give people their friends jobs to get this stuff going. Behind the scenes secret deals that you never even heard about. Well, that's all going away.
let me cool it down with some facts. Hypothetically speaking, if we let the simulation run long enough, eventually most things will become automated by AI. And as we know, you don't need to outrun the lion, you just need to outrun the slowest person. So, if you take a look at the hierarchy of people in an imaginary company, let's call it dumb tech, you have some top management, then middle management, then the development team, product owners, scrum masters, and developers.
Right, so I'm gonna talk, if you're listening to this channel, I'm talking to this person right here. This top management stuff, this is all going away for them. So if they want to stay in their top management, they're gonna be like a 10% of these people who go, okay, I gotta go start my own thing now. Get rid of this person, get rid of this person, that team, I should say, and just find me one of these good guys that has the vision, and we're just gonna build the whole thing with one person or two people.
Top management does strategic decisions. The middle management is reporting to these guys and managing the people, whatever that is supposed to mean. And then we have the development team. Product owners, scrum masters, they do Jira tickets, sprint planning, get the requirements from the customers. And in my experience, those are not the people who understand how to develop stuff or how the technology works under the hood. And then we have developers who know how to actually develop the software. If you look at this picture and the responsibilities, what is easier to automate? Creating tickets, planning sprints, reporting to management, or creating a maintainable software architecture, design, and developing something that's never been done before?
Yeah, it's gonna be this one. It's just newsflash.
I think people are completely overthinking this one. I can make the argument sound even more stupid with just only one question. Who is going to write the prompt for the software developing AI chatbot? The middle management? The scrum master? And let's say we get some code. Who's gonna integrate it? The product owner? I mean, we already have teams with only one developer and you want to even get rid of them. So if I understand correctly, even the smallest possible number of developers is a problem. Let's get it to 0. It's like we are flying with a plane to a desert island.
Yeah, this is the dream of the upper management. They hope this is going to happen, but it's only going to happen for a small percentage that know they can't get rid of the developer. There's got to be a guy between the customer and the computer. The customers are not going to go talk to the computer AI directly. So that's what's going on.
And we need to get rid of someone because there's not enough seats on the flight. And we will collectively decide to kick the only guy who knows how to actually fix the engine. What will the teams be looking like then? 5 managers and 1 AI chatbot? Really?
Yeah, so we're seeing this right now with all the garbage that's being produced. But, there's going to come a point where it's like, hey, most of these ideas aren't really good and people don't even want them. So what can we actually do that's real? And that's the revolution that's happening. That's the thing that's happening right now is like the developers who can actually create solutions and people who see what the gaps are. Those two people are coming together. Sometimes it's the same person, but the future thing is going to be there's going to be people who see inefficiencies in the market, and they're going to get together with a developer who are going to use these tools, not rely on them to make the whole thing, but use them underneath to generate the code, to generate the test, like generate the stuff that you're going to do as a software developer anyway, and or a lot of it gets just cut out, just plain old cut out.
This is basically the maze game. You can't win, you can only shit your pants if you try to solve it, or get a stroke if you're a boomer. I can't be the only one who's constantly hearing about how AI is going to get me bankrupt and I will die in severe poverty. And somehow people who only use computers for Facebook are suddenly experts on LLMs and software engineing and know how the market is going to evolve.
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff is this sci-fi, sci-fi-ization of the society. We all have heard and had these AI things shoved down our throats since the 40s, Colossus and all that stuff. So this has always been a danger that someone can outthink us and run us out thinking, and that's just never going to happen. It never will happen. Humans will always be better than these machines. If the machines ever truly get out of control, it'll be temporary. And if they, if they actually do maintain the AGI, which I really don't think that's ever going to happen, but if it does, we don't have to worry about it because it will be done, and there'll be nothing we can do about it. So the whole taking the jobs thing and the dream of these laptop Facebook people, Facebook pundits that think that that aren't technical, that think that they can get rid of the technical side. Sorry, you won't be able to. I know that's your dream. I know. I know you really want to do that. You want to be able to have someone else do it for you. Well, the moment that happens, people like me who are willing to go down there in the dirt, in the weeds, are gonna wipe that out because there's gonna be some edge case that you're not gonna be able to fix, and you're not gonna be able to tell the AI about. And they're not, and the AI, this AI, whatever it's producing, is not gonna be able to fix it for you because that takes a whole understanding of how the whole thing works, which it may never actually accrue because it's not just the details of actually doing the job. It's how did this process of job even become valuable to a marketplace? That whole thing. That's human needs, right? So the AI is never going to replicate that stuff. And the moment it does, it'll be so worthless that if one person can do it easily, and then 10,000 can, then it has no value.
They are just bitter that people can sit at a computer and make money nowadays. Nobody wants to work anymore. Yeah, sure. The non-tech people out there don't understand that it's rarely the problem that we don't know how to code something, or that we don't know how to communicate, or how to schedule our work properly. The main problem is the requirements that we...
Right, those aren't the problem. There's the requirements. What are we doing? How are we delivering this? What value are we bringing? How much value? Is it better than somebody else's way of doing it? Is there another way of doing it? Do we have to do this at all?
We get the specifications because the people who are paying us or managing us don't know how to properly specify what they want, and they don't know what is possible. Right.
So in this zero interest rate environment that we had for the last 15 years, those kind of people who got access to the Cantillon effect, they got access to the money printer some way, by hook or by crooks, by saying the right things, by I'm going to vote this way for this politician. Oh, you're on the board. I don't think so, and you're out. All that stuff is these people who are about to be they should be really worried. And it is a big part of the population. So we are going to have some problems with this. These people are going to have to find something else to do because they're not going to be involved with this next cycle.
And what is not possible.
So it is sad. It is sad. But these people are kind of grifting anyway. They're kind of skating along and playing favors and glad handing. That stuff's coming to an end. I mean, there's going to be a place for it. Maybe a sales. Maybe they just be sales reps for the companies that are doing this kind of stuff. Maybe that'll be their next role. And they won't be designing the product. They'll be selling it to somebody else. So because they're so good at that, right? They're good at selling their stuff, right?
And that if you can do something, it doesn't mean you should always do it, because everything is connected in some way and has some impact on the whole product. But that's
exactly. There's a lot of Jira, by the way. You want to see a big clusterfuck of annoying crap of we should put that in there, we should put that in there, we should put that, and it's just full of everything, and nothing makes sense. I'm a big fan of using as a developer. I'm a GitHub. GitHub's free. Everything's private. They have a whole project tracking stuff now. All the tickets, everything's integrated. You don't have to go to these 1,000 other tools that are complicated as hell. You want one tool, one language, one thing. You don't think we want to learn it once, and hopefully it'll be there for a long time. This whole rewriting everything because Facebook updated their React library. No, that's over. That stuff's done. They can't afford it anyway. So
a topic for another day. And now they really expect, or they are confident, that they will write so good prompts to the AI that the AI will understand and code whatever they want. The problem here is the AI chatbot will then exactly produce what they put in the prompt, and it will be garbage. Not because the AI can't interpret it properly. I mean, that's also an issue, but let's assume it can interpret and reproduce something. It will produce garbage because they don't know what they want, or they don't know how to ask for it properly. And
the people in the management they've been running these things and running and making these kinds of situations happen where they don't really know how to make this stuff actually work. They basically barely even know how to describe it. They think that them describing it and the engineers didn't interpret anything. It's yeah, we pretty much filled in all the gaps. You gave us sort of the general idea, but the engineers filled in a whole bunch of things you weren't even thinking about and had no idea was even going to be a problem. And the thing is, the engineers really rarely bring this up because it's a lot of detailed shit that's annoying to even talk about. But if you want to look at the code, it's in there. You'll see in the code. But all these edge cases and these error conditions and what happens if this goes wrong, there's 1,000 unhappy path stuff that's going on that These guys don't, it's never even seen, and you got to cover all those cases because I guarantee this AI won't.
This is exactly our golden ticket. Why is AI the golden ticket for real software engineers? The winners of the AI rush will be individuals, universalists, and creative minds, not the managers that think they unlocked unlimited free workforce. It will be the people who could do the job even without AI. This will
Unlimited free workforce. That was the dream of these managers. They thought they could do it cheap or even like offload it. That's the other thing is people overseas, they're going to have their chance too. Now they can build their small teams can build the apps for their region. That is the future of us. Mom and pop shop tech companies. That is the future. And they're get people are get, the early adopters are the people who are already developers who could already do this anyway without these tools. But these tools are now enhancing it. And some of these platforms like JetBrains, KMP, Kotlin multi-platform, you write once and deploy, to the web, to the iOS, to Android, to the desktop, or whatever else comes up. Instead of having to rewrite a whole new system architecture from the ground up with a new language and new APIs that are somewhat sketchy and half tested. Thanks, Google.
Just speed up the already productive people who know how to get shit done and how stuff works.
Yeah,
if you gave a
exactly.
space shuttle to the caveman, they would
And also what to cut out. A lot of this cloud-based Google architecture, Amazon tool, the number of like APIs and different things is ridiculous. You can cut all that stuff out. You just go down to what you're actually doing and use some of the built-in stuff. That like, Kotlin is amazing. The tooling, the libraries around Kotlin, you don't have to go anywhere else. You can just do that for the web, for iOS, for Android, for the back end, for the front end, for servers, for microservices, all that stuff. All standardized, well-tested, battle-hardened, ready to go. And you don't have to go off into 15 different languages and all this other crazy stuff. You can just do one. And if it blows up, okay, then you optimize, right? Then you hire your C++ developer, your Go Rust developer, and optimize that little piece of the code, whatever. But you really probably not even gonna have to do that. I swear. Most things are crud. Most things are crud. Most applications are crud. Most companies are crud. Crud's good. Crud's money.
know what to do with it, but the space shuttle in the right hands can go places. At some point, this publicly available AI thing will evolve. And I don't mean this current thing where someone wrapped ChatGPT into dog shit and then wrapped it in cat shit and made some useless software as a service shit.
Yeah, that's just temporary. That's people playing with these ideas, and like this is the pre 1.0. Like the actual real set micro SaaS stuff is still coming along. We're just people like on my level are paying attention and seeing what the tools are available and producing proofs of concepts like they're on my channel. Now they're doing that now, but they're not really talking about it. Like, it's not going to be worth trillions of dollars. It's going to be worth millions of dollars for a few dozen people, not billions or trillions of dollars for thousands and thousands of people. It'll be like 2 or 3 or 5, and they'll dominate their town and city or area with some niche business or some niche category. And these companies aren't going to be able to survive. They'll be like advertising platforms, but they're not never. All these companies got to look out. It's like gotta look out. They're in trouble, man. And their attitudes. We all remember what you were like. We all remember what you were like. Okay, no mercy this time. No mercy. We're going for the jugular. We're going to take them out. It's gonna be it's gonna be so nice to see them like wiggle and squeal. We're taken out by all these little competitors like that we can't stop. Yeah.
What I mean is the ability to teach ChatGPT by providing it a custom context. I know this is already possible, but not to an extent where you can just open ChatGPT and feed it with 2,000 datasheet PDFs. Anyways, I see two big.
Well, that is coming. That will be a business for a lot of people because that's just categorizing and dealing with business documentation and all that stuff is a big major use of the LLMs. Good use of the LLMs, but that's going to be just one category of business. There's a whole category. Anything that's being done by a big company now will be done by 10 different smaller companies, all spread around the regions, even more niche down.
Things happening in this AI era. First, we will see a lot of one-man companies emerge. When I say
1 or 2, 3 is optimal. Three is the one I've seen that's been optimal. The person who who can seize the opportunity, whatever it is. There's some niche. There's something in there. There's all these inefficiencies that these companies are running like crap. All they have to do is be working with these companies and see the inefficiencies and go, we just go dive in here. Small teams, so we don't have to make billions. We can get on with millions or hundreds of thousands, right? So we don't have to go after a big fish. We can go after little fish. We don't have to even go get money. But somebody's gonna have the money, right? Somebody will have to bootstrap this thing for 6 months to a year until it gets going. and gets it written and gets it operational, because you're probably not gonna build it as fast, but you're gonna have all the platforms done by one person. So it'll all even out. I think it'll be a lot faster by having just one person handle most of it. And then you need someone to write it. So money, like financing, which can be, these two people can come together. Like some of these companies, some of these people made billions of dollars, and we're like, okay, let's go convert and have some fun. Let's go take over my own business. Let's go take over my own business.
Say one man, I don't mean literally only one person, but companies with only a few experts who will be able to produce industry-changing software in basically every industry. In this era, the most valuable skills will be system and software architecture and design.
Right, software architecture and design. And there's some patterns that work super well and they're not super complicated, but you can start with basic CRUD. You don't know microservices, just a monolith. You can make it modular monolith. This is probably good for you in the back end. And for the front end, with Kotlin, with the Compose, you get the iOS and Android at the same time with one code base.
And this will turn us into some kind of super software, Power Ranger, engineers, some Robocop, Blade Runner shit. These small groups will have the flexibility and ability to pivot lightspeed fast compared to big corporations and develop some groundbreaking solutions.
Because there's not as many people involved. And you're also going to be niching down into an area, and you're going to find out relatively quickly, if you use the tools that are available, whether it's a viable thing or not. You can even find out ahead of time. I'm going to do a video on that. How you can find out before you even get started whether this thing's going to go or not. You can find out. It only takes a few weeks, and it's going to take a little bit of money, not a lot, 10,000 or less, and that's way less than building it out. That's for damn sure. Less than 10 grand. You can verify 100% whether your idea is going to go or not. And then once you build it, you have 3 months, 4 months to build an MVP, launch it with just what's needed and what's already been tested, what your customers already want, and it'll either go or it won't. And because your costs are a lot lower, which I will talk about in another video, your costs of doing business are going to be a lot lower. It means you can come in and take somebody else's lunch that has a higher cost basis.
You have to understand, the biggest obstacle in getting production software on the market is not the coding, it's the documentation, validation, testing, and quality assurance. I see a scenario where you can give AI the documentation for a specific certification that you want to get, and then it helps you write all the necessary software documentation, test cases, link requirements to
Maybe.
these test cases, and so on. Here I see prompt engineering.
I mean, the test, yes, adding test cases and stuff, but for a specific certification, for a specific code base, maybe a little bit stretched, but it could probably do checks for you and say, hey, this isn't covered here, or this need to put this over here before you submit it for validation. So maybe it'll be something like that. But I don't think it's going to write the code to make the spec. That's 30 or 40, 50, maybe never 100 years. Who knows? That is like a major problem, because it's going to be a going back and forth and understanding human needs way deeper than we are. And we're minimum 10 years. So we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's make money on this stuff.
Becoming an important skill. The second big thing in this AI era will be the downfall of a lot of companies. Managers will overestimate the capabilities of AI and then get rid of too many developers too early. AI will not deliver proper quality, and that will be their end. So that leads us.
We're already seeing that. That's already seeing like this Devon thing.
That's the next topic for the day. The current problem with AI. Managers see how ChatGPT can generate code and think it can develop safety critical software for, I don't know, airplanes. The current problem with AI is that solving complex problems is just not possible. It might be that the models are just not advanced enough, or that they trained them on freely available code online.
It's because there's lots of things that are assumed in the background, that there's a million things that are important, and there's certain things that are very important, right? So which ones pop up? It's like, well, that's an iterative process, and you're going to have to work with a human.
Where you also have to understand that most code is not good. Or let's put it this way, there is much more bad code available online than there is great code. I'm using ChatGPT sometimes, and there are limitations. In my opinion, it's good for simple stuff like writing some bash scripts to automate stuff.
Right.
But asking ChatGPT, let's say, to rewrite your linker script file or to help you with some industry niche tools, no way. It just
no, not anytime soon. No.
Produces garbage, and I'm talking from my personal experience. Now,
yeah, I mean, it's been mine too. It's better than looking it up on Stack Overflow, but you still got to know how everything's put together and where it goes and why, and all this stuff that's not said. It's like the blank page. It's like all the stuff you have to know about and fill in, and what can be skipped.
For the sake of argument, let's say AI becomes able to do all these things. I still see a limitation in it, and that is the lack of creativity. I'm not sure if there's a solution for this problem, but maybe it will evolve.
I'm not sure what that means.
So, in conclusion, it will take time until it becomes a game changer. And also, when it becomes a game changer, it will be a power tool for every real software engineer. So, that's it for today. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.
Give me a like and subscribe, Tariq. Yeah, he does good stuff over there. And yeah, so there is a pretty gnarly revolution happening right now that the big companies, I think, might be are scared of, or think they can skip, or think they're feeding into the hype wave of all the sales guys about saying how awesome and great they're gonna replace all the software developers. Like, no, you're not. You're not gonna replace the software developers. No.